So now we're going to look at a few examples of validation errors for the student course section enrollment and completion. And the first couple of errors are for my batch file that I uploaded in CalPath. So under the view submission details and within the view errors and warnings tab, I can see in this error summary section that there are two errors. One is the GER005 and the other one is the SCSE 0139. If I take a closer look at the details of those errors, I can tell that it is for the same student and it's actually for the same course section ID. But the reason there are two different errors is because the system looks at the data that I've submitted from different angles, right? The first error is the GER005, which is the general validation error, and it states that LEA does not have ownership of student enrollment to make the update. So if I look in my SCSE record, the School of Course Delivery is CSIS Training Berkeley Adult, right? And this is the school code. And if I click on the open button and look at the details of this record, this is the record that I've uploaded into CalPaths, I can get a little bit more information. So I can see that the School of Course Delivery in my record was CSIS Training Berkeley Adult, and the academic year was 2019-20. So it's the current academic year. The error that I'm getting is that I don't have ownership of the student enrollment at Berkeley Adult to make this change in CalPath. So if we actually copy the SSID here, and you can just look up the student really quickly, right, by adding the SSID here. And if we look at the student enrollment, we see that there's one record and it is at CSIS Training Berkeley High. And in the record that I submitted, my School of Course Delivery is CSIS Training Berkeley Adult. It's not high, right? So now I can see why I'm getting this error is because I don't have the student enrolled at Berkeley Adult. That's why I'm getting this error. So what I need to do at this point is go back to my student information system, change the school of delivery to Berkeley High, and then resubmit this record and it should be okay, right? The other error that I'm getting is the SCSE 0139, and this one states that the student course section record must have a corresponding course section record. So in order to enroll a student into a course section, the course section should first exist in CalPaths. So in my case, the system is saying that there are no courses or course section records with the course section ID that I've provided in my record here in order for the system to enroll that student in that course. And if I click on open here, again, the School of Course Delivery is Berkeley Adult with this course section. And based on what I just discovered now, my student is actually enrolled at Berkeley High. And obviously, I do not have such course section ID at Berkeley Adult School, right? And therefore, the system is correct that it cannot find a course section and enroll the student into that course section. So once I change the School of Course Delivery in my record and resubmit this record, both of these errors should clear up. All right, so now I'm going to show you a couple of other errors that you may come across when you are submitting your course section completion records. So I'm in online maintenance under course data, and I would want to switch my submission type in the filters to course completion and then click on apply, and it should bring up a few course completion records for me. And I see a couple of them here. So if I scroll to the right and click on student course sections, this is where I can add my student course section record, right? I'm going to click on add new student, and in the modal window, I would type in the SSID and just click on validate. So as you can see on the top, we get 1, 2, 3 different types of validation errors. And if we go through all of these validations, we would notice that there's information that is missing, that is required for student course section completion records. The first one is the student credits attempted and then students credit earned. Both of these fields are required. And that's why SCSC 0140 and 141 are triggering. In addition to that, I'm also getting GER 001 or General Error 001 errors for two fields. One is the marking period code. It's a required field that's missing. And the second one is the student course final grade field. So if I go down here, I would notice that those fields that are missing and the system is triggering the errors for are listed in the bottom here. So my marking period code, I would populate them as necessary. So student credits attempted, I'm gonna say 3, earned 3, and then student course final grade. What was the final grade in this course, right? I'm gonna populate it with B. And then the UC CSU admission requirements. This is an optional field. If you have this information and if it applies to your student, you would populate it. If not, this will not trigger an error. So we had 4 different validations, right, for the 4 different fields, and I've populated all 4 fields in here. Now I'm going to click on validate, and let's see if those errors all clear up. And looks like they did. So I get a validation successful message, and now I can go ahead and post.